Plekkpurk võib korraga olla nii joogipakend, taaskasutatav jääde kui väärtuslik materjal. Seda juhul, kui panna purgid pärast ühendamist korralikult automaati, kust need liiguvad Eesti pandipakendi käituskeskusesse. Aga mis saab plekkpurkidest edasi?
Siia jõuavad kõik purgid Eesti automaatidest kokku. Palju neid on? Eelmine aasta 2015 kogusid eestimaalased 104 miljonit plekkpurki. Lihtsalt liiguvad mööda liini ja esimene oluline etapp on magnetlint. Ehk selle magnetiga me eraldame teraspurgi. Purk iseenesest näeb välja nagu tavaline plekkpurk, aga tegemist on teraspurgiga ja selleks, et alumiiniumit oleks võimalik taas kasutada, tuleb teras eraldada.
Umbes 0,5% purkidest on terasest, ülejäänu aga alumiiniumist, mille taaskasutamise protsessi me täna jälgimegi. Järgmises etapis pressitakse purkidest massiivsed kuubikud.
Need kõik on siin plekkpurgid ja ma saan aru, et see ei ole enam siin jääde ega prügi. See on juba sekundaarne toore otsapidi tõesti, et ühe kuubiku sees on kuskil 27 000 plekkpurki. See üks kuubik kaalub umbes 480 kuni 500 kilo ja siit läheb ta kaalumisse ja otse merekonteinerisse teele Inglismaale.
Üks merekonteiner mahutab 24 tonni kokku pressitud purke. See on 1,38 miljonit plekkpurki. Talvel täitub nädalaga üks konteiner, suvel 2. Aastas jõuab Eestist Inglismaale 75 merekonteinerit, mis kõik on täidetud tühjaks joodud ja taaraautomaati pandud plekkpurkidega.
Eesti plekkpurgid liiguvad merekonteineris siia Inglismaale Warringtoni, kus asub Novelise alumiiniumi ümbersulatustehas. Siia tulevad plekkpurgid kokku kogu Euroopast.
We're the world's largest recycler of aluminium, and for us, aluminium packaging is an infinitely recyclable material. So it's a great material to use. It's light, it's easy to paint and decorate, but actually the full life cycle is the real story, because at the end of life, you can recycle it. And that's what we're doing here in one of our European recycling factories.
So how big numbers are coming in?
Yeah, you can see around you today just a very small amount that will last the plant maybe 1 or 2 days in feeding it. So yeah, into here we take 100,000 tons of cans every year, so maybe around about 9 billion cans. So yeah, it's big numbers.
You have a global business, yeah?
Absolutely. This is operates in North America, South America, here in Europe, but also in Asia. If you look at our global operations, we recycle about 50 billion cans every year. So it's a fairly large industry.
Eestist tulnud purgikogused tunduvad selliste arvude juures äärmiselt väikesed, kuid on siiski oluline panus globaalsesse taaskasutussüsteemi. Seda enam, et Eesti taaskasutusnumbrid on suured ja ümbertöötlusesse toodav materjal kvaliteetne.
Just praegu toodi siia järgmised pakid otse Eestist pärit plekkpurki ja kui siit vaadata, siin on tõesti meie tuttavad brändid Rock, Alexander, Saku, Saunaõlu, kõik mida eestlased armastavad. Andy, how do you value Estonian cans? Are they good?
Yeah, for us these are really good material. You can just look at the cans and see they've been very well compacted, so they're nice and well presented, and it's a very clean material. And for us, that's a very important part of the process. We get clean material into our system, we can get a very good recycling process. And this is just the start of the journey for a 60-day can-to-can process. So for us, the Estonian material is the top quality.
But compared to other countries?
Indeed, compared to even our systems here in the United Kingdom and England.
Why is that?
It's because you have a very good collection system. You have a deposit system, return system that keeps the can separate, keeps it separate from other materials. So what we see with other things from UK is we get cross materials. So we end up with a little bit of plastic or a little bit of a Tetra brick, which is not what we want. We're about making our can back into a can. So
and you have to do more work to separate them.
Absolutely. So we have to have a completely different separate process. So we have a process that will deal with our UK material because it has a lower quality level, whereas materials such as this from Estonia comes to us in such good quality, we can literally just push it into our process and start that process running.
And here the process starts, conveyor is the next thing, yeah?
Absolutely. So up in the distance here behind you, the material goes into our conveyor and it starts the process. It's shredded, so it's taken into very small pieces, sort of this sort of size. And from there we then start with some heat to take the paint and the lacquer, the colouring, and from there we start to melt it.
Eesti kvaliteetne materjal tõstetakse laost otse konveierile. Suurbritanniast kogutud purkidel tuleb läbida spetsiaalne lisaetapp, kus eraldatakse igasugused muud jäätmed võimalikult puhta alumiiniumi saamiseks.
Minu ja selle ahju vahe on kuskil 50 meetrit ja ma tunnen tõesti, et ma olen nagu lõkke ääres või kuskil Aafrika päikese all. See sula alumiinium ikka tekitab sellist kuumust siiamaani.
Pärast põrgukuumuses sulamist lastakse sula alumiinium spetsiaalsetesse vormidesse, kus materjal taheneb ja vormub kangideks.
Need minu taga välja tõstetavad värsked alumiiniumkangid kaaluvad igaüks 27 tonni ja on 10 meetrit pikad ning iga ühes neist on 1,5 miljonit taaskasutatud plekkpurki.
This is the raw material for new cans, but this is made from 90% old cans, 90% or more recycled cans. So it's a continuous loop, yeah? So you can make this can out of a can out of a can, and it's essentially never ending. It's a permanent thing. You can keep doing it again and again.
So how much energy is saved by doing that compared to the natural aluminum?
Yeah, well that's the reason it's a wonderful process, because not only can you do it again and again, but actually every time you recycle an aluminium can, you save 95% of the energy. So you only need 5%. And when you save that energy, you're also saving the same amount of greenhouse gases, so carbon dioxide, etc., which we know are global warming issues. So it's a really environmentally sensible product to do as well.
Need hiiglaslikud kangid on praegugi väga kuumad ning neid katsuda ei tohi. Arvestades seda, et Eestis kogutakse aastas umbes 100 miljonit plekkpurki, siis Eesti purkidest saaks teha umbes 70 sellist kangi, mis kõik lähevad uute plekkpurkide tootmiseks. What are your future hopes? All of the world, they don't recycle cans.
There's a lot of work to do. I think it's the most recycled packaging globally, the aluminium can. And aluminium recycling rates for cans are about 65–70%. So maybe 3 out of 4 almost are being recycled. But there's still some cans that aren't. And that's a challenge and an opportunity, if you like, for us and everyone else in the industry. So we'd like to try and increase the levels of recycling where they're low and continue that great cycle of recycling.
How is the increasing possible?
I think the issues for collecting more aluminium cans back from markets is a lot about infrastructure and a lot about communication. So you need a good infrastructure, a good way of collecting the material, and in some markets it's not there. But you also need a good communication. You need people to understand why it's important that they put their can back in for recycling and they don't litter it in the countryside or they don't throw it into a rubbish bin.
Isegi kui purgid liiguvad ümbertöötlemiseks pikki vahemaid, säästab taaskasutamise protsess ikkagi 95% sellest energiast, mis kuluks purkide tootmiseks esmasest toormest, alumiiniumimaagist. Järgmises etapis läheb meie purkidest ümbertöödeldud alumiinium Saksamaale. Seal vormitakse hiigelkangid üliõhukesteks alumiiniumlehtedeks, millest saab hakata uusi purke valmistama. Eesti purke tehakse enamasti Soomes või Poolas. Meil on võimalus minna Inglismaal Wrexhami linnakeses asuvasse Pooli tehasesse purkide tootmist vaatama.
Saksamaa tehastest tulevad välja sellised alumiiniumleherullid. Nende lehtede paksus on 0,26 millimeetrit. See leht on 10 kilomeetrit pikk ja kaalub umbes 10 tonni ja sellest lehest saab umbes 700 000 uut alumiiniumpurki.
Müra on tehases tohutu ja pole ka mingi ime, kui tootmises on selline kogus metalli. Erinevates suundades meeletu kiirusega liikuv taaskasutatud alumiinium võtab joogipurkide kuju juba mõne minutiga.
We create this cup, and from this cup we then press it into the shape of a can, as you've seen here. This is a can now which has been finished in its shape and size. It's also been washed and is now ready for printing. These printers will actually print these cans at up to 2,000 cans per minute. That is very fast. That is very fast. That is 30 odd cans per second. Quicker than you can actually see. The next step after printing, we actually use a lacquer on the internal face. This is to prevent the product coming directly into contact with the metal. And from there, we then palletize the cans in the format that you see here. This is 351 cans per layer and up to 10,000 cans per pallet. From here, they go straight onto a vehicle, straight to the customer's filling line, and they're actually then filled.
Seda purgiradu nähes paneb mõtlema, kes küll selliseid koguseid jooke maailmas suudab ära tarbida. Aga siin tehases valmistatakse umbes 2 miljardit purki ühes aastas, kuid see on vaid üks tehas paljudest. Paul Packaging on maailma suurim joogipurkide tootja, kellel on üle 30 tehase paljudes maailma riikides, tootes üle 60 miljardi joogipurgi aastas. Vastavalt piirkonna arengutasemel on ka purkide tootmine erinev. Väga suur tarbija on Põhja-Ameerika ja Euroopa. Suurte turgudena on tõusmas Lõuna-Ameerika ja Ida-Aasia. Aafrikas on purgivajadus märksa väiksem. Purgitootjate jaoks on alumiinium unikaalne materjal ja selle väärtus tõuseb just tänu taaskasutamisele.
We consider to be metal to be a permanent material because yes, you need a lot of energy and a lot of resources to create metal in the first place, but once you've actually got it, the trick is to keep reusing it and recycling it. And then you just keep reusing the same metal again and again and again and again. There is no loss of quality. There is no loss of performance. It's a fantastic material.
Pärast pikka ja põhjalikku ümbertöötlemisprotsessi jõuavad purgid taas Eestisse, villimisliinile. Esmapilgul prügina näivast väärtuslikust materjalist on saanud uue tootepakend.
Siia Saku joogitööstusesse jõuavad uued alumiiniumpurgid, mis täidetakse tootega, pannakse peale purgikaanet ja siis nad on valmis jõudma uuesti poeriiulile. Kogu see protsess, alates vanade purkide sulatamisest, uute tootmisest, villimisest kuni poeriiulile jõudmiseni, võtab aega kuskil 60 päeva. Kui jätta see purk loodusesse, siis purkide lagunemine võtab aega 200 kuni 500 aastat. Seega on mõistlik taaskasutada.